Just waiting for a few more people to join before I introduce. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Request you to keep your cameras off and muted so that we can have a proper conversation.
This is the best meet ever.
Okay, let's begin. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm deeply honored to welcome you all to the Women's Careers Day, hosted by ItsHerWay. Today is not just an event, it's a movement towards a more equitable world. And your presence here signifies your commitment to this cause. First and foremost, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to our incredible partners, speakers, delegates, and co-hosts, and each one of you who have taken the time to join us. Your dedication and passion for making a difference are what fuel this mission. To our esteemed partners, Ask HR Consultancy Services, Zealous, Networking Reimagined, the Dubai Economy and Tourism Department, Rudo Wealth, the Dubai Herbal and Treatment Center. All of you, thank you so much for your unwavering support and collaboration. Your contributions are instrumental in bringing this vision to life. Our inspiring speakers, thank you for sharing your expertise and insight. Your words have the power to ignite, change, and empower the women who are here today to reach new heights in their careers. Women around the world face numerous challenges, from pay disparities to limited career opportunities. At ItsHerWay, we are dedicating today and this week to addressing these issues head on. Our ongoing campaign, Make Up for the Pay Gap, is not just a slogan, it is a call to action to create a world where women have equal opportunities, financial independence, and more importantly, the freedom to pursue their dreams. We believe in a future where women are empowered to make choices about their careers and lives without constraints. This mission is to level the playing field and to ensure that every woman has a chance to succeed and thrive. Over the next few days, we have 11 inspiring sessions that are lined up and are designed to empower you with knowledge, skills, and connections. Here's what you can look forward to. The first session that I'm really honored and proud to share the stage today with is Namita Malhotra, the founder of Mindful Mentoring, and she's also called herself a life agility coach. Hi, Namita.
Hi, Armin. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And I am honored too and humbled that we get to do this together today. You're muted. I can't hear you.
That's fine. I didn't say anything. That's fine. I was not saying anything. I was just saying I'm going to give you the spotlight so you're here and you can start the session. So if just hygiene points before I hand it over to Namita. If you're entering the room or you're leaving the room, please make sure that you're unmuted and your video is off. We will have a Q&A session later on. So when that is, we'd love to have your videos on at that point. Until then, just so that everybody in this session is able to view the slides or the speaker talking, it would just be helpful for you all to have your cameras and mics off. Okay, so Namita, how do you feel being the second time speaker for Careers Day?
Like I said, I feel humbled and honored because as we've been meeting and the more interaction that we've had, we realize that, I realize that both of us share a common passion, which is of empowering other women. What you're doing is supporting them to be financially independent. And while my passion is to help them align life and careers together to be more emotionally independent. And that's why it's a great honor to be here with you today.
Amazing. So we have almost pretty much a full house. Let's get to it so that we can go on to the other sessions as well. Over to you. I'm going to switch off my camera now.
Thank you so much. A very, very good evening to all the attendees, all those beautiful women out there who are actually keen to learn. So first of all, even before we begin, just the very fact that you're here today, acknowledge and pat your back, give yourself the credit of having that growth mindset of wanting to learn. I have not prepared any presentation so that it's not distracting at all, and we can have a good conversation around, what do you really want to do? When I was talking to Armin and when Armin first approached me with this idea of having this conversation, the thought behind was that many of us, we have multiple dreams, desires, and we do not know that there is a very subtle difference between dreams and goals. The difference of commitment, the difference of taking action, the difference of having clarity and aligning your purpose to your dream. What do you want to do? And with that, I would just like to begin by briefly introducing myself. My name is Namita Malhotra. As Armin mentioned, I'm founder of Mindful Mentoring. And what we do is help women navigate any kind of transition in life, whether it's career, whether it's personal, whether it's emotional. Whenever in life you feel, okay, I'm ready for the next step, yet I don't know where and how to begin. That's where, as a coach, as a mentor, I hold your hand and guide you. And that then becomes very befitting as we begin today to talk about a new journey that you want to embark on. The most important thing that I think women must have when they are actually reaching out to prospective employers or when they're beginning to prepare for this journey of employment. So today, as it is Careers Day, we're going to be talking about your readiness to seeking a good placement, a job for yourself. Now, usually, there's a lot of talk these days about finding the balance and, career is not, while you're making a living, don't forget about living. And how I would like to show a different perspective today and why I will share in a while is because while career is just making a living, it also defines the way you live, what you do, and how you do it is also going to impact how you live your life. And which is why having clarity is absolutely, fundamental, and it's the foundation to any successful career decision. It helps you understand what your motivation is, whether your expectations are realistic, and what kind of commitments the new role will demand. Many a times we've seen as leaders and entrepreneurs that we are approached by women wanting to work. Yes, most of the time they do have clarity to what kind of degrees would it require, or in terms of educational qualification. That's AI. So the educational qualification, yes, most people are very mindful of saying, oh, I have this degree and so I'm eligible to approach for this job. While many, again, I'm generalizing, forget the soft skills required. Are you really suited for the role? Or is the role more suited for you, if I may put it that way? Do you aspire to be what the role is actually leading up to or demanding? Those are the questions you must step back and ask yourself. I'm going to, share in chat. I'm just figuring out where the chat is. I'm going to share a link in chat, and I would like all of you to actually make note of it, so that sometime when you have time and when time permits, or if you put it on priority, I would say ideally that would be best. Just put it on priority after the careers day and go through this. And this is about the three most important questions that one should ask oneself. What do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? And how do I want to do it? Right? This link that I've shared in the chat is going to actually highlight and bring to you, like, what really should you be asking yourself. First and foremost, having clarity, how do I want to live life, right? What are the experiences that I want to have, right? And what is it that I want to learn? And then how do I want to contribute? That's very important to know. So please be mindful and do take this little, go through the link and then ask yourselves those questions. And then secondly, when you're applying for a job, right, make sure to do a SWOT analysis. Use the tool, identify what strengths you have, what are at this current point. I know, for the lack of a better word, and because the tool says this, I'm using weakness, while you can use it as, what are the areas in which you need to grow or yet acquire those skills which will help you do or perform that role better. Ask yourself those questions, do a SWOT analysis, and then reflect on what opportunities are there. And also, what makes you the most eligible for that for that role. So ask yourself, do those, and then what are the threats? What might happen? How many applicants are there? Who all are applying? What are the additional skills that are required? So do a SWOT analysis before you actually jump on to submitting that application. Do a thorough research on the company, understand the role, check platforms like Glassdoor for employee reviews, connect with people, identify if that really is the organization you want to work for. And then also, the third most important is identify the personal impact, evaluate how is it impacting, how is it going to impact your personal life, your social life, your family life, your responsibilities. So create a pro and con list and then visualize the potential impact that it's going to have on your life. Because it's been seen many a times, women join and then they begin to realize, oh, this is too demanding. Oh, there's so much work. Oh, I have to carry back work at home and I don't have time for that. I have a small baby. Well, those are the things you should have actually looked into before even applying for that role, or at least before joining, because it's a lot of time and effort from your end that's required, as well as a lot of time and effort that grows in from the employer, because they have a process as well. They're employing people to go through all the CVs, and there is somebody who's dedicating time and resource, calling you for an interview, taking out time. So please be mindful of those things. Please do not take it lightly. There are many a times when, as expats, we come to the country and then we are looking for placements and we get carried away by the lifestyle that people are leading around us. Everybody is working, so I should have. And if I look at others and say, oh, it's very simple. She just goes in the morning, comes back in the evening, and has this fancy lifestyle, and I can also do it. Forgetting that she is she and I am I. How are we similar and how are we different? We are all same as human beings. We all have the same needs, yet we are different in the perspective of how much of each do we need and how do we fulfill them. Another thing is, before actually accepting an offer. Now that's about before applying. Now, when you're actually called for an interview and before you accept that offer, make sure that you've asked all the questions in detail that you have around the roles and what the responsibilities come with that role. Ensure that you have, a clear understanding of the performance matrix about the growth opportunities in that role. Make your own list of questions. Please do not hesitate to ask those questions at the time of the interview. And if you have not done at the time of the interview, then make sure that you do that before accepting an offer. Also, identify the kind of support you will need, such as, if you need childcare, if you need additional household help, or, emotional support from the family and friends. Plan and arrange for it before you actually join. Like I said, please value your own time and time of the employer as well. It's very crucial to understand that there is a common objective. Fine, we all stand to win from this situation. And yet, it is important to be mindful of these things. And yes, like I see in the chat box, please feel free to ask questions. If you raise your hands, I'm more than happy to take your questions. Please do raise your hand. Then there is another very, very important aspect of why do I want to do it? And again, the 3 MIQs will help. And yet, how I've learned and how I guide my clients is, of course, the first why everybody gives is, I want to earn more money. I'm here and I'm qualified. And so I think I want to work. I want to make life easier for me. Fair. That's our primary need, right? Yet, what binds you with your purpose is when you keep on going, why else, why else, why else, why else, why else? When you're considering any particular opportunity as well, take a self-audit and ask yourself, why do I want to work in this organization? How will it help me? Does it align with my long-term goal? So keep writing at least 20 whys or 25 whys. Just keep asking yourself, keep digging deeper. Say, why else? Why else? Why else would I want to do this? Why else would I want to do this? And when you have those 25 clear whys, there's no way you'll go back. And all these so-called sometimes excuses of, I did not figure out the commute before I joined. It's taking me too long. It's not because you did not figure out, it's because that job is not aligned with what you really want or what you really desire or how you want to see yourself living. So when you're passionate about something, when you really, really want to do it, you will figure out a way of doing it. Now, we're all women here. So let me just ask you, how many times have you experienced that when you really, really want a dress or a bag or anything, or you want to catch up with a friend, you will make sure you do it, right? You will make it happen anyhow. You'll save little pennies, you'll get it one day. or you'll make time even from your busy schedule to meet that friend who you're so close to. So what's that? Just give me a moment. I wanted to look at the chat. Okay, so what is stopping you from making that effort when you finally have gotten that opportunity? Ask yourself, and ask yourself, how is it going to impact your life if you continue to put in that effort? Any questions, anybody?
Hi, Namita. I'm Kavita here.
Yes, Kavita. Hi, good
Hi,
evening.
good evening. Thank you so much for this wonderful session, and I'm really enjoying this, especially the information that you're giving me. I have a question. I
Please.
think one of the most common things I've heard amongst my friends, my clients, amongst women is that how the society, to a certain extent, creates a very bad blockage in your mind and creates a certain expectations that, for example, if you're a new mom, it'll be like, okay, you have a baby at home, you cannot work. So how would you like to recommend helping such women come out of those norms and stick to the fact that, okay, this is what I want?
Thank you, Kavita, for asking that question. That's very interesting. That's most of my work. Okay. What I would like to emphasize here is, like you said, right? The society. The society, actually, when we refer, we loosely use that word. While the society actually is the 4, 10, 15, 20 people around me who I'm surrounded by, right? If I were to pick myself and put myself in a different environment, I would have a different set of expectations and beliefs. And everything that we know today is something that we've learned, something that we've acquired from somewhere. A belief also is an acquired belief, right? uh, Being thin is good, or eating healthy, yes, we all know. Yet how conveniently, when we are with friends who like to eat late, or who like to eat maybe so-called junk food, we get carried away, right? And we are like, okay, it's okay to cheat one day. So we keep changing our belief system according to whatever conveniences me, right? To entertain myself. I have learned that I am the heroine of my life, the most important character around which my whole life revolves. And, that's why I said having clarity to why I'm doing it. When you have your why strong, everything else fades. You will figure out a way. Yes, there is a cause for every effect, and there is an effect to every cause. So cause and effect is a cyclic loop that we are in. And whatever you choose to do or choose not to do will produce a result. And results may vary. When you choose to do something, there'll be a different result. When you choose not to do, there'll be a different result. You've got to ask yourself at that point, what is it that I want and what is in my best interest? Sometimes, Kavita, just taking on that note, when women actually sit back, give up on their career because of the so-called belief that they're supposed to or expected to or should be taking care of their little children, they end up being so frustrated that they take it out on the family. They're always angry, frustrated, and their behavior changes in that state. How is it helping anybody? So then having a mindful conversation, aligning everybody who is uh, going to be impacted by that decision, and then making a conscious choice always helps. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Kavita.
Very much. Thanks, Namita. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Namita.
Thank you, Armin. So with that, any other question I'm happy to take.
We'll open the floor to questions now.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Vanessa. Thank you so much for
everything you've said so far. My question comes from the place of being a young graduate. My question is, how do you balance or find a middle ground between pace and quality when selecting a job? Coming from the aspect of, trying to make sure you get the job quickly during the season of employment. How do you find that middle ground between, oh, you want to get this job right now before, the time is over, and also checking for the quality of that job as well?
Thank you for that question. Let me ask you another question. When you were learning to do anything, just say ride a bike, or when you were learning to ride a car, anything, were you perfect on the first day? Did you master the skill on the first day?
No.
And that answers the question, right? These are things which you will have to experiment. As a fresh young graduate, you will have to go out there and experiment. Maybe in the beginning, you might make a few mistakes of, the company that does not align with your this thing. And those are mistakes which are okay to make, because unless you try it, you will never know whether it works for you or not, whether that's the environment you are most suited for or not. So as a fresh young graduate, I think what you should be aspiring to do is to learn as much as you can, to experiment as much as you can, and then think about the balance.
Thank you so much.
Also, I'm sure there are a few young graduates. We know we did a few rounds at the universities for promoting this event, because we always do. And there are a few young graduates. So there's definitely nuggets of advice here. It also might just be interesting to, first and foremost, take that step, see how you feel, be very honest with the recruiter as well, and tell them that you might want to change things around as you go along the journey. And most often recruiters who are recruiting for, the more fresher roles, fresh out of university roles, they are more flexible and they understand that there will be that navigation that will happen, isn't it?
And even employers, I mean, if I'm employing a fresh graduate, my expectation is very different from when I'm taking in a seasoned one. So again, clarity, just talk about it, share what you're expecting, share what you would like to do, and ask about, what the role really requires, and talk to people around, talk to those who have been working in the organization, get feedback on the work culture, and then make an informed decision.
Thank you so much.
Hi,
Very
hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Namita.
Hi.
Hi, Arman. I'm Samar.
Hi, Samar.
Namita, thank you for this wonderful presentation. I'm way beyond the fresh graduate, but my son is almost there. So a question came to mind. First of all, I want to congratulate you on the last certificate you got, Namita.
Thank you
Always
so
proud
much.
of you.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. You keep pushing forward. And Armin, I love your hairdo today. It's a very nice look. My question is, as a fresh graduate, what do you advise them? Sometimes they are advised to go for the best offer they get, or to hold their ground until they get the offer that they want. So which one would you advise them to go for? Sometimes they're searching, and then people would say, just take whatever you can get. And some people say, no, you have to wait until the right one comes by. So what is your take on this? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you for asking that question, Samar. I think a lot of attendees will benefit, like Armin said. So there are a lot of fresh graduates, right? And there is no right or wrong way of doing anything. There is what works for one may not work for the other. First of all, as a fresh graduate and as somebody who is about to graduate, I strongly always suggest my mentees to do as many internships as they can. And in the first job, it's best to have lower expectations in terms of, your graduates are still like fresh clay, and you should be that supple. You should be able to, you should go with that mindset of learning and absorbing everything. And when it comes to making a decision about taking up the first best offer, or again waiting for the right one, as they say, depends on the circumstances one is in, right? If, again, take a SWOT analysis and see, like, what are my strengths? Am I like, how many companies have I applied to? How many have I received answers from? How many do I still know are in the pipeline? What is my chances? What are the probabilities? And then also, how desperately do I need? Do I have financial commitments to support somebody to take care of myself? Am I, in that urgent need to be financially independent as soon as possible? And then take a call. Make a pro and con list. What will happen if I take this opportunity? And what won't happen if I take this opportunity? Yes, sometimes if you take the first one, then it's always possible that there was something better. I also, because I do a lot of body sensing and somatic work, I always tell my clients, put the opportunity on your hand and ask yourself, is it feeling light or is it feeling heavy? You will instantly know whether it is right for you or not.
Thank you, Namita.
Thank you, Summer, and we love you too.
There are a few internship spots, Summer. We can definitely speak about that. We did have a chat on that, right? We'll talk about that after this. All right, so next up, thank you so much, Namita. You're going to be around for questions, right?
Yes, I am around.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. All right. I'm just going to introduce our next speaker. Just want to check if she's around. I think she is. Yes, I can see. Okay. I'm going to take you off your spotlight. So as we continue our journey through today's inspiring sessions, it's my pleasure to introduce one of our esteemed members at ItsHerWay and speaker, Masooma Elahi, co-founder of Rudo Wealth. Masooma and her team at Rudo Wealth are on a mission to revolutionize wealth management, making it accessible and affordable for everyone. With a focus on cultivating sustainable wealth and achieving financial independence, Rudo Wealth empowers individuals to take full control of their financial futures. Masooma brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. She holds many prestigious certifications and degrees in human resources from XLRI Jamshedpur, she's a graduate from there, and digital marketing from Emeritus in collaboration with MIT and Columbia Business School. Her expertise in finance and HR add depth to her insights, making her a valuable asset to our event and an amazing speaker. Please join me in welcoming Masooma Elahi to the panel, to Zoom. Let's make the most of this incredible opportunity. And over to you, Masooma.
Thank you, Armin. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, my dear. I'm just, could you switch on your camera, please?
My camera is on.
Yes, amazing.
Thank you, Armin. Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining this session. And before we jump directly to our topic, I just want to ask one question to everyone. Who wants to live life on their own terms and conditions and make decisions without worrying much about the future? All of us, right? But how are we going to get there? Only when we know how to manage our money effectively. And that's what we are going to discuss today, the financial empowerment and independence for women. So first of all, let's understand what is financial empowerment. It's all about how you manage your money. And for that, one must have the right set of knowledge and skills. Now, why it is important? Because this is going to help us to gain confidence in making good money choices and money decisions. Now, this is a complete process and it may sound very overwhelming, but trust me, this process, it starts with financial empowerment, leads to financial wellness, and finally, with this, you attain financial independence. And this demands only one thing: start and remain consistent. That's all. Now, how to embark this journey? First of all, we need to build relationship with money. Now, it is not just about numbers, it is a whole set of emotions. We need to understand our personal and family beliefs about money, recognize the pattern of financial behavior, financial habits, what triggers us in decision making. And all of these are going to help us in laying the foundation for financial empowerment. Now, let's take an example and let's understand. Let's say we step into a shopping mall and our favorite brand is promoting buy to get to offer. What happens? We get triggered and immediately we make the decision to visit the store. And next we all know what happens. We just come out with bags out of that particular shop. Now, this is called impulsive spending behavior. Now, it is good or bad, need or want. You need to sit and analyze. And that's how we decode our behavior towards money. And this is a kind of practice is going to help us to build relationship with money. Now, the next important thing is seeking knowledge. Nowadays, online, we get a lot of resources like ebooks, podcasts, webinars, blogs, article, etc., etc. But I believe for most of the thing, our first institution is our home. Speak to your parents, understand how they used to manage money, deal with any financial emergencies, challenges, what was their budgeting style. Now, why I'm telling this? Because when I was small, I remember my mother every night before hitting the bed, she used to write something in a small notebook. And at the start of every month, she used to put some amount of money into a small envelopes. I used to see, like, she used to write some titles on those envelopes, like Milkman, Laundry. Much later in my life, I realized her small diary was actually her spending tracker. And those envelopes were part of her envelope budgeting. And I think all of us will remember, like, we used to have a small piggy bank and we used to put all the spare change into that, right? That was actually emergency fund. So I believe these are the real time learnings, what we can learn from our parents regarding money. Now we have understood like how to build a relationship with money, seek some knowledge, gain some good information. Now what we will do next? Next is we should apply it in a real life. And when we will apply these things, that time we will understand what is wrong and what is right. And 200% we are going to make mistakes. Now we need to sit and analyze, we need to learn from those mistakes, and we have to come with an optimal solution why this mistake happened and what I should do next so that I will not repeat this mistake again. So this is how we will learn from our own mistake. Now next is, now imagine we are planning for a holiday and we have not yet decided our destination. What will happen? We will reach nowhere, right? So similarly, in finance, it is very important to create a plan, a clear financial roadmap, which is also called as financial planning. So financial planning is a blueprint of your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goal. For this, you can use SMART goal framework. Now, what is SMART goal framework? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Now let's take an example and understand. I want to take up a 1-year course with London Business School. I'm very specific about it. Next is measurable. How much money I need for this particular course? It's measurable. Achievable. based on my present income and expenditure. Can I manage to afford this fee? Is it achievable or not achievable? Next is relevant, R. What is that I'm going to achieve from this course? Definitely some knowledge. This course is going to help me to get a promotion in my organization with which I can see an increase in my income. So it is very relevant to my goal. Time bound. When exactly I need this money? Today, if we are sitting in the month of May and my course is starting in the month of September. So I know in September I need this much of money. How is the payment cycle going? This is a 1-year course. Do I need to pay it in one shot, or every quarter I need to pay this money? So this is very clear. So this is what we call SMART goal framework. Next is, now when we are clear with a financial roadmap, what we need. We need to make our money work for these goals. Start regular saving and investing. Every month, save and invest at least 5 to 10% of your income. And this is how you will start your investment journey. Make right investment decisions based on your risk appetite. How you can optimize your investments well. You need to analyze all these things. And this is the point where many of us fails due to lack of time, right knowledge, living paycheck to paycheck. And that's where we chip in, Rudo Wealth. Myself, Masuma Elahi, I'm the co-founder of Rudo Wealth. We provide financial advice and support, stand by our clients through their ups and downs to help them achieve financial independence. If you feel that you need to seek an advice from your investment advisor, do it. But please start your investment journey. Now, next is, when you find yourself managing your money effectively, saving and investing wisely, keeping track of expenses, handling your debt, that means you have achieved financial wellness. And continuing on this path will guide you towards financial independence. But what does that mean? It means living on your own terms, pursuing passions freely, and making decisions without worrying much about the future. Especially for women, financial independence grants the power to make bold life choices. This could mean leaving a job with a gender biased work environment, existing a toxic relationship, or even taking a sabbatical. Essentially, financial independence is about having the freedom to make these significant decisions in life. I stop here. And before I end, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Armin. And thank you, Armin, for giving me this platform. And this is my first ever webinar, and it happened only because Armin has supported me. She has pushed me for this. Thank you, Armin.
You're most welcome, Masuma. I just want to share with everyone, Masuma is underselling herself and and the ability of, what she's done, whatever she's the entire business that she's launched. It's just phenomenal. Much respect, much admiration to you, Masuma. Thank you so much. We'll just open it now to questions. Namita has raised her hand. Namita?
Thank you, Armin. Masuma, that was a brilliant session. And I would totally agree with Armin when she's saying you're undermining yourself. One valid point that, I had in mind and I missed, and so I thought I would like to share after Masuma shared about financial independence. Many a times, when wanting to take up a career or do something, women just jump into it, and without realizing that, what am I going to earn versus what will I have to spend to manage my day-to-day needs, which we spoke about, like in terms of childcare, in terms of adding on extra house help, in terms of, the whole commute, everything. So that's a very valid point when you talk about financial health. And that's just, came to my mind that it's something that we must share and make them aware of. So always writing down the pro-con list helps. And yes, thank you, Armin.
You're welcome. I think I've had this conversation with some of the people I've chosen to hire or not at many levels, at many different stages of life, of the journey of ItsHerWay and before and after as well, is that yes, you're ready to, join somewhere. Are you sure you're going to be able to manage your time, your life, your money, and everything else? Because it might just be that you have the income or the salary expectation is much smaller compared to what you want, and the salary might give you a little bit of sustenance, but it might not survive or suffice for your entire expenditures that you have to compensate for. So it's always better to kind of see where you want to balance. And today, post 2020, post COVID era, you always have so many more options to earn money, to invest money, as well as to spend wisely, spend in a saving mindset. So take up all of these things to your benefit, to your use, and then decide if you actually are going to make a lot of difference in your career by taking that job opportunity, or if you'd want to become self-employed for some, in the same skill set and then do something of your own. I really believe that career does not stop with your job, and it will never. If you have the drive in you, you will continue doing whatever you want to do. And it can be a pivot, or it can be something in the same line of your work, and you'll still be able to make it, right? So that was a little bit for me. I have one more hand raised. Samar, please unmute yourself. She has a question. Samar?
Hi. Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Thank you, Masuma, for the great presentation. It was very
Thank you so much.
insightful.
Thank you.
As a business owner, I try to gain as much as I can from all the talks that I hear and the advice that I hear. But my question to you is, when do you know that you need proper financial advice from a professional? Because we try to do everything on our own, but at the end, we are not financial experts. So at what point through your career, you know that you have to really seek professionally financial advice?
Thank you so much for asking that question. And I think during my presentation, I mentioned one thing. While we end up building a relationship with money, we understand, we start managing it. But when it comes to investment, especially when our short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals are clear, all of us are very busy. As you said, you are a business owner. Certainly, there is a lack of time. Certainly, there is a lack of knowledge. How to manage, how to invest, like optimize your money. That is a point when you feel that no, you're not able to manage it all your own. That is a point when you need to seek advice from your investment advisor. And I'm mentioning investment advisor, who will understand what exactly is your need. Understanding, sitting and discussing with you what are your short-term goals, what are your mid-term goals, what are your long-term goals. When I say short-term goals are basically things what you want to achieve between a duration of 2 to 3 years. Mid-terms, 3 to 5 years, and long-term goals are like your retirement. That is the most
Okay,
important.
So the expertise come for the investment part.
Yes.
When you want to invest. Okay, thank you, Masuma.
Thank you.
Maybe I should contact you soon then.
Yeah.
Thank you
You're most
so much.
welcome.
Thank you, dear.
And
Thank you.
And I mean, since it's a career day, I believe a lot of young aspiring, professionals, if they are hearing us, one thing I want to tell them: see, all of us wants to become millionaire.
Yeah.
And millionaire doesn't mean that it will only come, you earn and you invest and you become millionaire. We believe there are three important aspects where you need to invest. The very first thing is invest in skills. It is very important that time and time you need to upgrade your skills. You need to match with this evolving world. now and then we can see like the world is changing. This is the first thing. Second thing is invest in experience. And one of the best thing is networking. Meet with different kind of people, talk to them, understand. The same thing what we are holding, when I speak to you on that particular topic, I will get a different kind of perspective. The whole narrative will change. So it is very important. Invest in experience. There are businesses which are built out of experience.
True.
Last is invest in the market. When you start earning from the very day one, start saving. Start with small.
Yes.
At least 2%, at least 5%, whatever you are earning. Save and invest it. These are the 3 ways which will help you to become a millionaire.
Yeah. The value of compounding, right? As they say it.
That's the eighth magic.
Yes.
Eighth wonder of this world.
The eighth wonder of the world, compounding. Compounding means your interest and your gains keep compounding year on year. So even if you've invested 2%, over the next year, it will become 2% plus the interest or the benefit or the profit that you earned from it. So it's always going to be more and more and more. So it's not going to remain 2%. It's going to increase. But at the end of the day, the value of compounding is very, very important to understand and imbibe as young entrepreneurs, young professionals as well. So imagine if you start saving, just in a savings plan, any kind of savings plan, in the initial years of your career with 2% or 5% kept aside, by the time you're, let's say, in your mid-career level, you'll already have a good savings, isn't it, Masuma? Do you want to add to that?
Absolutely, Arpit. And to experience compounding, one has to remain consistent in their investment journey and give time. This is not something which you can just fasten the process. It is very organic process. Now, for example, Warren Buffett, we like in the world of financial, we call him father of investment.
Yes.
Warren Buffett has started his investment journey at the age of 10. But actually, he has experienced compounding when he was at the age after 50 years old. He experienced that compounding, and that was the period when he has seen a big, massive change in his investment numbers. So it takes time. But yes, definitely, it is a eighth wonder of the world.
Thank you, Masuma. We have one question. Chika. Chika has raised her hand. Chika, would you want to unmute yourself, please?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Masuma, for everything that you said. My question comes from the perspective of having a good saving plan in effect. What I want to know is, how do you evaluate on what to invest in if you do not have a financial advisor and you're pretty new to the whole investing scene? How do you evaluate what to start with?
Thank you for asking this question, Chika. In fact, I wanted to tell Armin that this financial empowerment is a very broad umbrella, and it has many pockets, and we need good time to explain each and everything, like budgeting, like the basic of investment. We need at least good time to cover all the topics with that. And Chika is coming from there only. The best thing to start your investment journey is start with index fund, ETFs. This is very low cost and easy and simple to understand. You can at least start your journey with this.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Saida has a question.
Hello all. First of all, it was great attending this session, and I have really got insight into a lot of things, especially related to finance and career in general. So I basically am doing my master's in data science from Middlesex University, Dubai here. And now I see that the main agenda of today's Zoom meet was Women's Career Day, right? And also I see this as a great platform, as already mentioned in the session description, for a valuable networking opportunity. So I am looking out for an internship opportunity here in Dubai, because my master's is almost complete, as in like I'm done with the studies part. It's only the thesis work that's pending. So I'm looking out, actively for some internship opportunity that would come my way. So I just wanted some light to be thrown on, how to, what would be the best route to follow to get an internship here in Dubai. And because I see that, like, here, not just for jobs, even for internships, they look out for referrals. So,
Sure. So if I may, Masuma, can I jump in?
Yes, please.
So, Saida, thank you so much for attending, and it's great that you're on your journey of learning and continuous learning. It will always help. What I personally recommend is, first and foremost, since you now are attending these sessions. These sessions will go on up until Thursday, and Friday will be the in-person networking from 1:30 p.m. up until 6 p.m. I've just sent over in the chat a link to update your CV. There are quite a few positions open that we have on our records through our partners. We will match them. And if your profile matches the job description, your CV will directly go into the hands of the recruiter. And hopefully you'll get a call back. So I've just popped.
That sounds so good.
Great. I've just popped in once again the link to submit and upload your CV in the chat of this session. And yeah, feel free to fill it in, submit your CV, and we'll come back to you on that.
Thank you so much, Armin.
You're most welcome. Any last questions? I see a few people have joined back again. Welcome back. We're going to wrap up in the next 5 minutes. Any parting thoughts from you, Masuma?
Those who have started their investment journey, please continue with it. Those who have not, please start. Start with small, but start. That's what I want to say. And in the meantime, if you want to seek any information, any kind of thing, you can connect with me over LinkedIn, and you can always share a message with me. Thank you.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you tomorrow at 4:15 p.m. UAE time. I see some from other time zones as well. Namita has a message. She just sent something. I'll just read it down before I conclude. Dear girls, do a career mind map when you build your CV. Do align it to your short-term and long-term goals. Okay, that sounds good. And that can actually be done on both sides, right? The career mind map parallel to your financial goals and financial mind map, or
exactly. When Namita was speaking, I was like feeling like financial planning is so much aligned to what Namita was telling. It was very much aligned.
Because it's all about
the two topics are absolutely deeply integrated, right?
Yes.
Because like I said, though we say career is just living, to make a living, it's also the making a living that defines how you live.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies. Thank you very much, attendees, delegates, for doing this. It's been a great 1.5, almost 2 hours now. We will see you tomorrow at the same time. The links for the attendees and the delegates have already been shared. So just get onto the link and join the session tomorrow at 4:15 p.m. Tomorrow's session is going to be a panel discussion by 3 women who are career experts, guidance experts, especially when it comes to talking about that break in your career and how can you manage that. So there's Kavita, there is Lindsay, and there is Shazia, who are going to join us tomorrow. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. And thank you, Armin. Once again, a very happy evening to everyone.